All right, so wifey is really sold on getting a van. She does not want to tow a trailer anymore. No trailer, no more. So we've decided to do this video to give pros and cons. I have the most cons here, so it is what it is, babe. But again, whatever the wifey wants, she gets.
Well, we've owned other ones, so
yeah,
we're only going down in size from here.
I know you keep pushing me down smaller and smaller. So let's go ahead and jump into the first point, because this is going to be an important video for those who might be in the same situation as us, going from trailer to van life.
Okay. So one of the things I absolutely love about van life is it's stealthy.
Yes.
You can park anywhere, you can pull over anywhere. It doesn't look like you're sleeping in the back of your vehicle.
Yes.
Justin also appreciates the head, what is that called?
Height?
Yes.
The height, yes. The height, yes.
The height, right? It's better than a fifth wheel.
Yes.
Better than our travel trailer.
I would say about the same as the travel trailer, but that's still better than the fifth wheel for sure.
Okay.
Yeah. I'm a big fifth wheel guy, so when it comes down to height, you always have to be checking how high clearances are before you make your trip. And that is something nice about this rig here, is it is still pretty tall. This one is lifted and it has a larger AC unit right there. You guys can probably see it. If we were to get one of these, we ain't going with that.
Right. And no more wine guard.
Yeah.
No one's using that anymore.
And wine guard, listen, it's time for you guys to do something different too. Like, that thing looks huge on top of the roof of this van. So yeah, that's got to go too.
The other thing is, when visiting friends and family, it's easy to park in their driveway or right off street. You're not taking up so much space like we were with our fifth wheel and our truck, or our truck and our what is it? Not tractor trailer, sorry.
Travel trailer, yeah.
Travel trailer.
Yeah.
End of our long drive. But yeah, travel trailer. And so this is just so nice. We don't have to, no one has to make accommodations when the Browns come in town.
Yeah. See, honestly, you made that point. I was like, dang it, that's a really good point. We don't have to find storage for our travel trailer, fifth wheel, whatever, because you're right, this will fit in all of our family's driveways, or on the side street at least. So here's the second point, and this is probably important to a lot of people. Fuel economy. This Mercedes does have a 2-liter high output diesel, and I will admit, some people are very optimistic about the fuel economy. I would say somewhere in the neighborhood of about 15 and 16 is real world, but in the perfect scenarios, no wind, perfect temperatures, no grades, you can get 20 miles to the gallon plus with this engine. But that's really optimistic. The next pro is you only have to maintain one thing. So when you think about truck and trailer, you have to maintain your truck, obviously, and your RV. And with this, I actually got home, washed this thing, cleaned it out, and it was super easy. And my wife, yeah, and my wife will tell you, set up and tear down at a campground, it will be super easy.
Yes, that's one of my favorite things, is how easy it is to use this versus a travel trailer or a fifth wheel. When you're stuck in traffic, or you just are tired and want to take a nap, you just unbuckle your seatbelt, make your way to the back. You can make yourself a sandwich, take a power nap if you need. You don't have to bump out any slides. You don't have to turn on a generator or do anything extra. Everything's accessible. Even while you're driving, you can microwave something or use the fridge. It's really cool.
Well, go ahead and show them your favorite, point about that too. Go ahead and sit in the passenger seat and show them what you like to do here. So when she's sitting down and she wants to grab a drink,
right from the seat, the fridge opens this way so I can grab a drink.
Yep.
Or for the people in the back, because there's 3 seat belts back there, they could also open it this way.
Okay, that is super nice.
Yes.
So now we got to talk about the cons.
Oh boy.
Here we go.
Okay, so I'll give you one con. That's it. That's all I can think of.
Yeah, okay.
That's all I can think of. Is it is louder than if we were in our truck with a pool behind. Because while we're in here, you are hearing everything.
Yes.
You're hearing everything shift. If you have glass bowls or coffee mugs, or beer, beer bottles, whatever it is, you're hearing everything shift inside your fridge and your cabinets, every bump. That's the only thing I can think of.
But even if, yeah, I hear you. But even if you had nothing in this rig, it's still an RV that is still loud going down the highway. They don't build these things for quality. Yeah. So it is significantly louder compared to just being inside of a comfortable HD truck.
Right, with massage seats and all that stuff.
Yes.
I will say, you just turn your music up louder.
Okay, you're giving too many pros on that con. All right, what's the next con? Let's go in. Let's talk about that one. Earlier we talked about how having 2-in-1 is really, really convenient, and I agree. Until you have to go in for service. So obviously this Mercedes, if it needs to go down, and it is a Mercedes, so it's going to have some type of issue at some point. If you have to leave it for a couple days, well, you've lost your place to live, and of course you lost your drive vehicle. Same thing goes if something fails on the RV side of things. Same situation. You're going to have to find something to do while this is being worked on. So you might have to get a hotel, or you might have to plan a trip that's closer to family to stay with them. So there is some conveniences to having two things into one. I will also add, I love the look of this lifted van. And this is my next point. Having a lifted van is really cool to look at. It ain't fun to drive in the wind. And we had a lot of wind. We went 3,000 miles plus round trip in this thing. And the wind was terrible. And I will add, because this is extra height and you have that larger AC unit, it doesn't help with the wind either. So it feels like the wind is pushing this thing or trying to push it over. So something else to consider.
So I did think of one more thing. That's a con. And that is storage space. It is very tight in here compared to a fifth wheel or a travel trailer. So you just have to make the most use of one space. I would opt to maybe build our own.
Yeah, I agree with you. I think that if we were to really get serious about this, number one, we'll show you guys the back here in a second, but this has a seat all the way in the rear, and that turns into a bed. Really cool concept. However, if you need to take people with you, your friends, family, kids, whatever, it sways a ton. Remember how I told you this fan's lifted? And when the wind's hitting it, I got car sick back there, and I never get car sick. She got car sick. Our daughter got car sick, and she always gets car sick. And so it definitely didn't help her at all. So if we were to build one of these, I would want to have the seat for them right next to us, because up front, you don't feel that sway as much. So yeah, that's something to consider. But let's go out back really quickly. I want to show them a few other things. I want to show you the storage you had, because I don't think we showed this in our review video that we did on this one. But yeah, this one does have some really good storage below the back. And as Hannah said, as far as storage goes, typically this all gets taken up from blankets, things like that. And you guys can see back here, this is where you would have 3 people sit in the rear. And as I said, because of how this thing sways side to side, it's not a great experience if you are someone that gets car sick. So yeah, be sure when you're doing your research, get the one with the bed is on the elevator. And then those typically have the seats out front. And then that way, you can sleep back here. And then if you need to carry passengers, you can just carry probably just 2 extra people with that configuration. Hopefully you guys can see that view behind us. But yeah, I think some of the biggest advantages to camping is in this little package for sure. But I'm sure some people are going to bring this up, and this is why I ended off with this video with this point. Camper vans take a really hard hit with depreciation brand new. So if you're definitely looking for something like a specific floor plan, sometimes it's just better to buy new because of that. However, when you think about 30% depreciation, if you're looking at $60,000 versus $150,000, it's a lot bigger number. And the fact that this is on a Mercedes chassis, I think these will depreciate a little bit quicker as well because of that too. And that's simply because higher maintenance costs over the course of time. And mechanical failures are going to be a lot more expensive with this chassis. So for me personally, I do like the idea what Hannah said is if we were to get into the van life, I think that a lot of people are starting to just branch out and just build these on their own. And we do have a friend that we can probably ask for help with that. So be sure to subscribe to the channel. I think that if you are someone in the market for a van, I will say one of my favorite things about this was when we were traveling, I like to drive until I almost can't drive anymore. And it's nice to be able to pull off the highway, not look for a place to park and make sure your trailer's out of the road or not blocking something. And we just pulled into a parking space, turned it off, jumped back here, and went right to sleep. And I'm serious, like literally right to sleep. And that is the biggest advantage to the van life, is you have a lot more conveniences, but you don't have as much space. And I didn't make this point in this video, but one thing you have to also consider, if you like to eat a lot, you do know that these typically have cassette toilets, right? And because of that, you have to change your eating habits. So it is a pro and a con. If you don't like to change your eating habits, then it's gonna suck, because that cassette toilet is like only 4.5 gallons, I believe. Ain't much. And yeah, I think that for some people that might be a deal breaker all in itself. But I like the cassette toilet because it's easier to clean, and it cuts down, I would say, dumping in half, because all you have to do is just dump down your 1 gray tank in this thing. So again, be sure to subscribe to the channel. If we do decide to either buy one of these or build one, you don't want to miss out on that upload, and we'll see you guys soon.